644. And joining us in studio this morning from the Chaves County Extension Office, Tamara Schubert back with us. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
Doing great. How about yourself? How's the world of home economics and extension office today?
Busy.
Yeah?
Yes.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing, right?
It is. It's always a good thing. It keeps us out of trouble.
Well, and it's nice. You got to kind of, the gang's all here now that Drew's in. You kind of are fully staffed again, and now we're coming out of the COVID world, so programs are getting back to normal. So at the end of the day, it is kind of cool.
Yes.
Because what you think of the extension office for, you guys are pretty much back up to full speed on doing all that stuff.
Yes, sir.
Now. So that's good to hear. Now, of course, now you're thinking, well, what they kind of cover different aspects. You know, you got the whole 4-H side. Andrea handles that. So if you have youth that want to learn more about the 4-H program, that's all through the extension office. Of course, we got Drew on the ag side of things, and if you're a farmer, rancher, or just a backyard gardener, he's the man that can help you all that. And then Tamara here, if we're talking all on home family stuff, if you want to learn more about your health, i.e. like diabetes and dealing with managing those things, then she's your gal to handle all that good stuff here. So I'm guessing, are you pretty busy with that right now? Starting to get, for the summer and starting your classes and back up and all that. Is that kind of where you're at right now?
We are. We're busy really across the board. So the 4-H youth are coming off a county contest, and that qualifies them for district contest and state conference.
It's about to be fair season.
It's about to be fair season. We have a team going to nationals over the summer as well. So our 4-H kids are doing great, and they're getting busy. It's that time of year. We do have a diabetic cooking school already scheduled for August during the day for those that didn't make it last time. Yep. So
Perfect.
Starting August the 22nd, it's going to be Mondays and Wednesdays.
Just sign up early. The earlier you sign up, the better, because these classes are popular and they will fill up. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when they fill up.
Right. So that particular one, we max out at 25 because they do hands-on cooking. And so, cooking space is limited when you have that many people.
Follow your nose.
Yes. So we have that already scheduled for August. And then we are going through certification for that year-long diabetes program as well. So hopefully that one will get kicked off this fall as well.
Great. Mm-hmm. So please, sign up for these things, and this is what I love about it, because especially you go to your doctor and you get the diagnosis you're either diabetic or pre-diabetic, but anytime you hear that, then you're thinking, oh great, now time for Rice Cake City and no more. I will never see a piece of fried or bread again, and you're like, no. Yeah, it's a lifestyle change. Yeah, you can't be double fisting Hot Pockets all day. You can't be doing it.
Right. But there's lots of options in that. And the great thing about Kitchen Creations, like I said, is they have hands-on cooking, but you also get cookbooks and things, and they really teach you how to balance some of that so you don't lose out on your favorite foods.
And that's where Tamara comes in with all this stuff. You like pizza? We can figure out a way to make pizza and do it in a way that you'll enjoy, and it doesn't. You get to eat it and enjoy it, but it doesn't do all the negative, as much of the negative impact it would if you did it a little differently, and that's the same. And trust me, this is the thing, and I know you probably talk about this a lot in the classes, your cravings change. If you stick to the plan and you start going through it, you're going to find that the things you were craving before kind of take a back seat, and you're going to start craving the things. And like, for example, and this is a cheap one, but it's one that I can, because I've done this. And it's, growing up, I drank sodas my whole, Pepsi, Coke, whatever, the lidded stuff. I drink it. And in my 30s there, that was catching up to me and all that. So I switched to the zeros and the diets and all that. And I know this is not the most greatest example, but my point is, since I've switched over there, it's like if you handed me a regular Coke today or a Pepsi, I would be grossed out by it because it tastes too syrupy and all that. So, and that's my point, is at some point your body does that, and you're going to be like, you're going to eat that pizza you used to eat, and you're like, oh, it's kind of gross. and then now you eat one that, you know what I mean? yeah,
Right.
your desires, your cravings change and all that kind of
So
stuff.
one of the things that they find, and I always find this interesting, is the more sugar that you eat, it takes that much more sugar to get that same level of sweetness.
Oh, okay.
So when you kind of balance out and decrease some of your sugars, it takes less and less sugar to give you that same sugar
Gotcha.
high.
So you're actually a cheaper date, kind of. That makes sense a little bit. Let's see, and that's so please sign up for these classes. Don't look at this information that you're getting from your doctor as, oh, great, now it's the beginning of the end, or the fun police is over now. It's time to, no. You can still and you can still eat the things you love, just in moderation.
That's right.
You love ice cream. You can still eat ice cream, just not the whole half gallon at one setting. Maybe just a couple spoonfuls to kind of satisfy that craving.
Well, and a lot of times they've got some great new products out, so you can find those low carbs.
Alternatives,
You can
yeah.
find those sugar frees that really help balance out some of that stuff.
And they're getting better with ice cream. Like there's a couple brands out there now that you're like, all right, that's not bad. But it's a lot of trial and error with like the low carb, low sugar ice creams, because some of them taste good, but they have the consistency of not ice cream. I don't know what you call that, but and then others that look or feel and look like ice cream, but taste not like it. So they they're getting better. But there's and the same thing with the other stuff, your pizza and all that. Yeah, trust me, I know cauliflower crusts sound god awful in certain circles, but to be honest, they're good. And cauliflower is one of those things that just kind of it doesn't have a lot of its own taste or flavor per se, and so it kind of, like tofu echoes or emulates the flavor and what you give to it, a little bit. So it's one of those, that's why it's substituted for rice and potatoes and a lot of higher carb items and things like that. But even still, I imagine there's probably dough options that are less invasive that you can
There are.
do.
So if you look at switching even to a thin crust versus your, deep dish or regular crust pizza, or even a whole wheat crust is much better than the white. It'll give you that added fiber, which helps balance out some
when
things.
it comes to all that, it's some carbs are good and some aren't, and it's the same thing with sugars and things. And too, there's some that are beneficial. Same with fats. Some are beneficial to you, some aren't, and so really in the diabetes game, it's balancing the good versus the bad, and getting more of the good and less of the bad,
and finding the better.
Yeah, and that's
Yes.
really finding that balance, and that's, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about, and really even just the diabetes, because your doctors are working with you, and everything you treat it's different. Like back in the day, they used to treat you and be like, oh, you're not doing it right. Da, 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 da. Now it's a little different. It's like, okay, this method, so we need to adjust your medicine. We need to adjust. Like if you're working your end on the diet and exercise and things aren't working there, it's not so much it's your fault anymore. It's like, all right, maybe we haven't figured out the right cocktail or combination of what we need to do to get you healthier. And so you doctors working with you on that, you can be proactive by signing up for classes like this, getting involved that way, and using the resources through the extension office to help you find that right balance for you.
Right. And those that have been diagnosed with diabetes, we know that it opens them up to a lot of other health issues. So once the diabetes and stuff is somewhat under control and manageable, it really decreases everything else for them.
Then you start seeing blood pressures and cholesterols and some of the other ancillary issues that come kind of hand in hand with diabetes, or are common together with diabetes.
Right.
Because usually, generally speaking, these are the same people have heart issues, stroke issues.
They do.
Generally speaking, they are as worried about those risks as well too. So next thing you know, your arteries start clearing a little bit, and you're having less stroke risk, or your heart starts, and obviously exercise is the great right of mess up. So, when you do fall off the wagon a little bit, exercise is your friend and helps you. You want to eat more cake? Great. And run a couple extra laps when you have to eat more cake. And then, it kind of, you burn some of the calories off and doesn't mitigate it as much. So, but again, you learn all that through the class, but sign up. So,
yes, please.
I know I got way on a tangent there. I know Drew just had his big. Is it his just had his big ag class?
So we did. We had a ranchers workshop.
Yeah, the ranchers
So we had
workshop.
great attendance for the first one that's coming in. So that is going to be a yearly thing. NMSU is working with one of the research centers to have another small ag kind of entrepreneurship startup business workshop this fall. So as soon as we have information on that, it'll be out.
But in the meantime, if you got questions about anything in the farm and ranch industry, even I don't care if you're you do it for a living or you're just somebody that has a pretty nice garden in the backyard and you want to, Drew can help out with that, with as far as information, resources, and of course with pecan weevils, all that stuff. If you got any questions or inspections or need any issues related to that, Drew's your guy with all that stuff too.
Right.
So. And then, like I said, if you're interested in 4-H, I know we're getting ready into fair season stuff. I know it's not technically in recruiting, but if you want to learn more about being involved in all that, come out, reach out to Andrew, or find your maybe you're 4-H, but you don't realize it, because I'm not showing animals that, but they do so much more. If you're into computers or shooting sports or
they do
or crafts and things, there's so much part.
So
of
we did just have county contests, like I mentioned before, and it's over 15 contests, anything from horticulture and agronomy to entomology to favorite foods. So if you're into any of that stuff, 4-H covers it. Come see us.
Yeah, so definitely, especially, and I imagine too, because it's a big advertisement really for 4-H is the fairs. So if you're out at the fair this year and you're walking in the educational building and seeing something, it's like, I would love to be a part of this. Talk to the 4-H. There's going to be 4-Hers all over the place. Talk to some of the kids showing animals. Talk to some of the adults there. They'd be happy to put you in the right direction on, in all aspects of 4-H, not just the animal show and stuff.
Well, and if they're not enrolled right now, they can always come visit the clubs. They can see what we're doing this summer. And then when open enrollment starts up in October again for the competition side, they can enroll at that time. Yeah. But they can always come visit. Get in now. They can't do the fairs and stuff if they get in now.
I'll just say this, just my observation from the outside looking in. Every time I have dealings with 4-H kids, and this is true with FFA, really all of, kids in that kind of, that share those same kind of events and things. I will tell you this, those kids always seem to be just a little bit more mature, just a little bit more in touch, just a little bit, I don't know the right word without sounding kind of like a jerk, but that just seem to be a little bit more with it. You know what I mean? They just, they're more polite. They're more knowledgeable. They're more sociable. It's just that it's 4-H, they do great things, but I don't care what branch of the 4-H you choose. I think, they just do great things for children as far as helping them to be ready for that next phase in life. I think the cocktail of what parents do, what they do at the schools, and then something like a 4-H or church group or something, I think that's kind of that recipe that really kind of makes it all work well together. So
in addition to their regular projects, our kids are involved in their local clubs. And so that does teach them leadership, public speaking, parliamentary procedure, all that. Yep.
So I'm saying, if you're looking for an opportunity for your kids to get exposed to this kind of stuff, have fun, and maybe give them an opportunity to find their niche, find their place. 4-H is definitely a good opportunity for them. So reach out. I'm just saying, every time I interview those kids and talk to those kids, it's yes ma'am, no ma'am, yes sir, no sir. Just very polite, very just seem like good kids. You know what I mean? And I think 4-H has something to do with that.
Why, thank you.
If anybody has any questions about anything we talked about here, whether it's 4-H related or the home economics or diabetes cooking or anything ag related, give the phone number to the extension office.
It's 622-3210, or they can always stop by the office for 200 East Chisholm, suite number 4.
Yeah, and generally, 8 to 5 is
8 to 5, yes, sir.
Office hours, and of course, you can. And again, the Chaves County Extension Office is under the umbrella of the New Mexico State University. Yes. So when you go on Facebook looking for everything, if you type in NMSU Extension Office, something like that, that'll get you right to the pages you need it to have, and then like and follow. And if you have questions or whatever, you can shoot them through that too. And Tamara or somebody will give you the
we'll answer you, and if we can't, the NMSU research does for us too.
Yeah. Was there anything we missed?
I don't think so.
Got it all? Very good. and of course come out this year to the fair and all that. Support these kids. And I'll say this. I'll say it a couple times between now and in July here, but I know there's so much going on at the fair, but two of the most slept on areas in the fair that's got the coolest stuff is the arts and education building. That whole area. I know a lot of people run into the commercial building. They run into even the new building or even the livestock are out in the rides. But there's a whole world. It's cooler in there, for one thing. If you need a place to cool off, that's always a great place to go. But then you can go in there and see all the artwork. You can see the trains in there. You can see usually the gelatinous pumpkins are in there. I mean, that's the coolest room. To me, that's my favorite building in the fair. So most people sleep on it. So go this year to this year's fair and go visit that building. So very good. Well, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We will see you next time, if not sooner. And
Absolutely.
Don't work too hard.